Well, I'll talk a little bit about the student government. I have never been involved in any kind of student governance before coming to school here. I have been involved in boards on some other nonprofit clubs and organizations that I've belonged to, but one of the things I promised I'd do when I got into the program was get involved. I didn't want to spend 2.5 years here and then wish at the end of it all that I had been more involved in taking advantage of more opportunities. So I forced myself to run for one of our section rep positions. Literally the first week of class, maybe the first day of class, and moved there to handling academic affairs for the program, and then last year I was president of our student council. It's given me an opportunity to meet countless numbers of folks on the faculty, staff, and administration here, and one of the things that I really noticed that was a complete shock is that as tough as it is to get things done in an educational institution, the administration here is fantastic at responding to student requests and input. Within less than a year, we were able to reschedule the Saturday classes, move them back from 8:30 to 9 o'clock to help out our commuters from San Francisco and Oregon and other places. That's just not something that can happen easily when you think about all the different things that have to be coordinated between facilities, professor times, lunch, events that are going on around the school on Saturday and everything else, and they did that within 2 or 3 months. It was amazing. We've seen changes to the courses, changes to things happening in the courses that the professors respond to from the students' input. It's just been a very small town family kind of feel, and everyone really is working to try and make it better. I've been really impressed by that.
You were going to go?
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we all should thank Judd and the others out there that have stepped up and done the kind of leadership roles that he has, because not everyone obviously is able to do it, and it's nice to know that you can lean on your classmates who really are able to not only put in the time but do a really good job and care about the future of the program and also what's currently going on in your class. So it's nice to have Judd and several others that have been really active in terms of helping with student government stuff. And I don't know if you probably are going to touch on this a little, but there's so many clubs and activities and things you can do. And it's funny because I was really more involved in college than I have been in graduate school, just because of the distance I live, and I'm married and we have a baby on the way. So there's like a lot of things that have prevented me from being able to maybe be more active. But I think that one thing I have learned is there's certain things I've kind of chosen that I've really cared about. So I've been able to translate some of the work I've done with our thesis gap project to speaking at conferences related to microfinance, which is what our topic was on, or speaking to Net Impact about what microfinance is about and how you can get involved in microfinance, and other things like putting together a walking tour of the Skid Row area in downtown LA to give people a chance to, who maybe didn't know about that area, to learn about it. So you can kind of just choose maybe one thing or two things that you decide you have the time to focus on, and they're maybe more short-term than a commitment like what Judd's talking about, but that still gives you a chance to kind of have some of your personality come out in the activities that you work on.
Yeah, we're incredibly busy doing school and work and trying to have some kind of a social life, but as involved as you can get, give back to the school, and the school will do wonderful things for you as well, but you'll get more out of it the more you get involved in it. That's simply put.
That said, the FEMBA program is a whole lot like drinking from the fire hose sometimes. I mean, to Jill's point, you almost have to pick and choose what's really important to you. I can say the thing that I'm probably most proud of coming out of this program is I feel like I got a stronger marriage than when I went into it. That took some real intentional investment of time, let me tell you. So my man Judd here just got engaged. So obviously we are juggling a lot of things.
That's cool.
But there's pretty much clubs for any individual things you want to do, whether or not it's a particular area, operations management, management consulting, entrepreneurship association. There's all these kinds of things. I was always really jealous of the full-timers who could actually go play ultimate frisbee in a club, because I would have loved to do that, and I just couldn't make it happen. So yeah, you got to pick and choose. Figuring out what you think might be some of your interest early will really help you out down the road, because as I'm sure we'll talk about in a second here, the process of graduation is very much one of what's next. And there's so many doors open that the sooner you can start narrowing down into what are those things that you really want, because nobody else can tell you that, I think the more powerful your experience can maybe be.
One thing that's nice that you briefly touched on is the clubs I'm not sure I guess Femba Council is a little different, but with the other clubs, you're interacting with full-time, part-time,
Right.
I would assume
Right.
executive as well.
Yeah.
So, in some senses, your core classes are going to be with whatever your particular degree program is, but electives are mixed, things like clubs are mixed. So there's opportunities for you to get to meet people outside your particular program area through the clubs that you might belong to, or the lectures you might attend, or whatever it might be. So that's a really nice thing. And I think probably with yours, I'm sure you interact with the others.
even within the student council organizations, we spend a lot of time working to get the programs
Aligned.
integrated as much as
Yeah.
possible with special events for all three of the groups, or if it's just talking through issues and things with the different student organizations. We do that all the time, and I think one of the things that I've seen over the last 2 or 3 years here is a big improvement in the communication across the different programs. It's much, much better, and it continues to get better on and on. I just wanted to say one thing about Jill's trip. She mentioned a trip down to Skid Row. I never would have thought that coming into business school, I'd spend a day down on Skid Row learning about some of the nonprofit organizations and events that are down there. But I went on that trip, and it was very interesting and educational. My fiance works down there a couple of days a week with folks, and it's just unbelievable the range of things that you have an opportunity to do that you'd never even consider before coming to school here.